And staying in the United States, incoming President Donald Trump says he will end transgender lunacy once he takes office in January. Now, speaking in Phoenix, Arizona on Sunday, Trump vowed to create policies to only recognize two genders, male and female. And in an apparent reference to gender-affirming surgery, Donald Trump said that he will end the mutilation of children with a stroke of his pen.
With a stroke of my pen on day one, we're going to stop the transgender lunacy. And I will sign executive orders to end child sexual mutilation, get transgender out of the military and out of our elementary schools and middle schools and high school. And we will keep men out of women's sports. And that will likewise be done on day one. Should I do day one, day two, or day three? How about day one, right?
Now, this is not the first time Trump has railed against transgender rights. In fact, he aggressively ran television ads during his campaign mocking Vice President Kamala Harris for her support of transgender rights. And in the run-up to the presidential election, Donald Trump pledged to impose restrictions on trans students in schools. His policies could affect the use of preferred pronouns, bathrooms, and locker rooms by students. Moreover, the incoming president believes that any doctor or hospital providing gender-affirming care should be banned from practice. And when it comes to sports, Donald Trump embraces his anti-trans mantra of not allowing biological men in women's sports.
And we will, of course, keep men out of women's sports, I promise. Last year, the radical left's gender insanity arrived right here in Salem when a man was allowed to transfer onto the Roanoke College women's swim team. And I just met them backstage, the great swimmers. I didn't notice a male on that particular team. I didn't notice a male on that team. Perhaps I don't understand what's happening, but I didn't see any males on that team, believe me. But the brave members of the swim team stood up to the transgender fanatics, something new in our country. And those strong, and I would say beautiful, but I'm not allowed to use that term anymore with women, because if you say beautiful, it means the end of your career in politics. You're not allowed to say a woman's beautiful, so I will not tell you how beautiful they are, but they are beautiful. But those strong, beautiful, intelligent women, they won.
The incoming commander-in-chief also plans to discharge transgender members of the U.S. military, deeming them medically unfit. His plans would likely include banning future recruitment of trans people in the military and gender-affirming care. Now, with Donald Trump reiterating his anti-trans rhetoric, anger and anxiety have become dominant emotions among rights activists and the LGBTQ+ community.
I don't think that I would be here today for this interview if I wasn't receiving the care that I do receive today. Without the care, I was really deeply depressed, lost, and unable to live a regular life. I think that that's what we all want, is to be able to access care that will affirm our gender, allow us to flourish into who we are, and live lives that are loved and cared for.
The question is, who's best to make the decision? It's the individual that's best to make the decision about their access and their doctor or whomever they're trying to access support from. I don't necessarily know that the federal government making that decision is a good idea, but I certainly don't think that we should have differences between the states. I think each person should have the ability to access the support, the care, the resources that they need in order to live like all of us.
Now, a Washington Post survey says nearly 2 million people living in the United States identify as transgender, representing less than 1% of all adults. And now their future depends on Donald Trump, who could crush their hopes and dreams of living normal lives with his uncertain executive orders.